All right, I switched over to my phone, so we're not going to have our Instagram live, but we will have my phone going here, so hopefully that gives people an opportunity to kind of tune in. So now you guys can go ahead and just tell me if you're able to view this on your computers and devices. Just getting it set up here. So that's kind of the beauty of all of these new things that we're doing here in our quarantine, all of the new ways that we're trying to stay connected, is that sometimes they don't work. Sometimes technology does not work, and that's okay. So just go ahead and comment. Let me know if you guys are seeing this in a way that is good for you. So usually we do our Facebook and Instagram. So this morning it's just going to be our Facebook, because we were having a little bit of a difficulty with our live stream on my actual computer. Seems like it's been a little glitchy. So it could just be a matter of my internet connection or whatever it is. Okay, awesome. It sounds like this is better for you guys. I'm just curious, can you see me horizontally or am I vertical? It's a very strange question. Oh, thank you, Marty. Yes, this is my little sanctuary of my little personal yoga studio. It's been getting a lot of use these last couple weeks, and I hope yours has been getting a lot of use as well. I think we've all probably had to rearrange some furniture to squeeze our yoga mats in, so thank you for doing that. And thank you for tuning back in, you guys. I know that was a little glitchy there, but we are back in action. Thank you for your feedback. So like I said, this is my little yoga area. I'll give you guys a little tour. I have so many plants over here. Plants and like just greenery is so great to have in your area. Yeah, so Patrick, my partner, gave me a haircut. Funny story, I put an attachment on because I wanted it to be a little bit longer, and he took it off and shaved it anyway. So things happen, right? I'm so lucky that I even have someone who is willing to shave my head. So good thing I'm in quarantine. I don't have to show my head to anyone yet in person. So a couple of quick announcements now that we are back up and running. Sorry for the little bit of a delay. And of course, now I'm kind of chatting with you all. So if you make a donation to Mystic Fitness, you're going to get one of these amazing handmade masks by Mary Beth. A lot of places are requiring you to wear masks now to enter, mostly grocery stores. So if you don't have one, this is a great opportunity to support a local business as being Mystic Fitness Yoga Studio. And it's also a great way of getting yourself a protective mask so that you can stay healthy and that you can attend all of our wonderful live yoga classes. So we're going to go ahead and get started. But this morning I would like to start class with a tarot card reading. So I got a lot of feedback of people kind of just curious about what is tarot. So the cool thing about tarot cards is that there's no right way to do it. Everybody has their own ritual and their own idea of how to pull a tarot card that suits you. The best way to do it is to just get your hands on the deck, touch every card, and kind of put the intention out there. So as you find your comfortable position, let's go ahead and choose a card all together, and we'll collectively take a deep inhale and exhale. Taking your palms and opening them up towards the sky, maybe resting them on your knees, or if you're laying down, resting them on the ground. And imagining that you are touching each and every card here as we shuffle them together. And just channeling maybe a question that you have for yourself or an area that you would like to have some clarity, maybe any emotional anxiety or anything like that. Just kind of channeling whatever you would like to put out there in the universe as we shuffle this deck of cards together. And it doesn't have to be anything super like woo-woo or, this is just a really great way to kind of Give yourself a little start to your morning. I usually choose a card just to get an idea of where my mind's at. And we'll go ahead and pick a card here. So we picked Purity. So Purity is 2 of Wands, and this is a great card to choose. It represents just your pure intentions and your open heart. So it's a great way to look inwardly and see what is your purest way to express yourself. And I think we can all agree the best way to express yourself is through honesty, through connection, and through unconditional support and love. So today we'll be doing our class with this in mind, this Purity card that we pulled. And I want you to just find the simplicity in that. Just the simplicity of being here, being honest and truthful. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath in and out. Holding that word purity in your heart, in your mind's eye. And allowing whatever interpretation you have, however this fits into your personal life, and holding that close. We'll begin our practice with the sound of Om, starting with a cleansing breath in and out. And for Om, inhale. Have a wonderful, pure class, everybody. We'll go ahead and find our way onto our mats here. And we'll start in a tabletop position. So I want to just warn you guys, I am my own little, secretary here this morning. So I'm going to be trying to move the camera in a way that you guys can continue to see me. In your table pose, start some arches and curls. So with the inhale, dropping the chest, gazing forward. And exhale, curling the spine as you tuck the chin towards the chest. Inhale is an opening up through the chest, arching your spine. And exhale is a rounding. Finding a couple more motions here, in and out. Starting this process of opening up through the vertebra. We had a little bit of a late start this morning, so let's go ahead and get that body nice and warmed up. Get it moving, maybe taking some big sweeping hip circles. And the best part about this first sequence of our class is that there's no wrong way to warm up. Whatever feels good for your body is the exact motion you should be taking. Eventually your body is going to start to talk to you through sensation. So go ahead and listen to that sensation and let it carry you through your movements with breath. Maybe taking some gentle back and forth presses here, alternating between a gentle little child's pose and then a upward facing dog-like motion here, but trying not to put too much stress through that lower back. Eventually curling the toes underneath you and sitting back onto the heels. So we're going to get a pretty intense stretch through the arch of our foot. So if this is a little too intense for you, shifting your weight forward is going to make it a little bit more tolerable, or simply picking yourself up onto your knees. If you want to make this a little bit more intense and get deeper into that arch stretch, you're going to sit your weight back. From here, let's play around with some movement through the wrists. So it's always really important to get into those wrists. So go ahead and find some big wrist circles. We do spend a lot of time putting weight onto our wrists. So we need to make sure that we warm them up properly. And it's not a very inspired movement, but it's something that we got to do to kind of make sure that we protect our body from any future injuries. Go ahead and give them a good shake. Sometimes I like to imagine any anxiety or fear or stress that I'm experiencing just like dripping off of my fingers when I do this. And then taking the fingertips onto your shoulders and rolling the shoulders a couple times, opening up through your wings. Maybe the arms start to open up a little bit wider and taking it in the opposite direction. And now we're really starting to feel that stretch through our feet. So we're going to release out of it and just slap the shoelace sides of the feet on the ground a couple times. I always wonder what my partner, Patrick, thinks when I do this from upstairs. All right, now that we are warmed up and ready to go, let's engage our core here. So we're gonna find a nice flat back. So that location right between your arch and your curl where you can feel nice and long. Chin is gently tucked here. Let's go ahead and extend that right leg behind you with the heel in line with the hip. Flex the foot so that that leg stays engaged. Perhaps here, if it's in your practice, that left arm reaches forward as well. Your inhale is to extend the limbs apart from one another in this extended table. And your exhale is a curling of the elbow and knee towards the mid-body. Inhale to stretch and reach. Take it nice and slow. Engage your muscles. And exhale, curl. Finding 4 more here. In and out. 3, 2, and 1. Left hand plants, right knee drops back into your table pose. Inhale, take an arch through the spine. And exhale, curl the spine. 1 more like this, in and out. Returning back to our flat back, and this time sending that left leg behind us with the heel in line with the hip. So go ahead and flex that foot so that you can keep that glute nice and tight. Perhaps from here, maybe that right arm reaches forward. Inhale is a stretching of the limbs apart from one another. And your exhale is a curling the limbs towards one another. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to curl. 4 more. Last one. Planting right hand back down, left knee drops next to right. Taking yourself back into your child's pose for a moment. Let your head hang here on the ground. Reaching those arms in front of you, and then walking the hands over towards the right side of your room, finding that side stretch through the left side body. You might even press your hips over towards the left as your arms reach over towards the right. Bringing the hands back to center and then walking them over towards the left. Dropping the hips over towards the right, finding this side body stretch through the right side body. Breathe deeply in and deeply out. Coming back to center, finding your tabletop position, tucking the toes under and lifting the knees up and back. This is your first downward facing dog, so take it nice and slow. Pedaling your feet here by pressing one heel up and then one heel down and alternating between the two. And if downward facing dog is not welcome in your practice yet, you can go ahead and continue warming up through your table pose. As you pedal your feet here, make sure you didn't lose that connection through the hands. Spread the fingers wide and relax the shoulders down and away from the ears. Notice how you can shake the head yes and no and release the tension through your neck. Open and close the jaw. And we'll start to take some back and forth presses with the inhale, dropping the knees to a hover, bent knee dog. And exhale, plank pose. Inhale, taking it back to that hover, bent knee dog. And exhale, plank. So these motions here are something that we usually do in most of our vinyasa classes, and it's a great way to start to fire up the body. So it's like we're turning that internal heater on. creating your own warm studio this morning. And we're also creating some blood flow and synovial fluid through the joints. Go ahead and take 3 more at your own pace. And this can always be done with the knees on the ground as well. This time as you come into your plank pose, holding in your plank, breathe it in, breathe it out. Inhale. With the exhale, lowering just the knees to the ground, we'll find our low cobra here as you slowly lower with your chaturanga, elbows pointing back. Inhale as your low cobra, pick that chest up, shoulder blades come towards one another. And exhale, release. Let's find one more low cobra here. Inhale, peel it up. And exhale, release. Pressing your way back into your table pose, tucking the toes under, lifting hips up and back, downward facing dog. Pedal it out here, breathe it in and out. And we'll prepare for our first sun salutation. So inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Exhale, walk or hop to the front of your mat, forward folds. Take a moment with a deep bend in the knees to relax into your forward fold, shaking the head yes and no. Maybe coming into a ragdoll pose, grabbing onto opposite elbow and swaying from side to side. And slowly coming back to center. Inhale for your halfway lift. Fingertips plant on shins. Lengthen through your crown. And exhale, fold. Inhale, circle, sweep those arms, reach up. And exhale, hands to heart. Ground with the inhale. And exhale. Inhale, arms, circle, sweep. Reach the fingertips to the sky. Exhale, hinging from the hips as you forward fold. Inhale is your halfway lift. And exhale, folds. Hands plant. Go ahead and step just that left foot back so that you're in a runner's lunge on the right side. Dropping that left knee to the ground to start, let's take some back and forth presses through that right leg. So as you extend the right leg and send the hips back, we're getting that hamstring stretch. And as you bend the leg and send the hips forward, you're getting that left hip flexor stretch. So breathe deeply into this posture. There's a lot of stuff going on in this movement. Just enjoying it as you inhale and exhale. And then we'll return back to a bent right knee. Tuck the left toes under, lift the left knee up. And we'll find our runner's lunge twist by bringing the left hand to the block. And inhale, right arm opens up to the right and lifts to the sky for your runner's lunge twist. Notice that that left hip wants to drop and twist with you, but try to keep it in its place, keep it in line with that right hip, and let the twist come from left rib cage. Breathe deeply here. Coming back to your runner's lunge, planting both hands on the ground, and then sending right leg up and back for a 3-leg dog. Bend and extend through the right leg. Open your hip by dropping that right heel over towards the left side of your room. Try to keep that right knee pointed up towards the sky. Coming back into your downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. So both feet are planted back on the earth. Let's go through our chaturanga here. Inhale to a bent knee dog. Exhale to your plank pose. Breathe it in. Exhale, chaturanga. Maybe this time you go halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog, or maybe that low cobra is sticking with you. And exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Preparing for flight. Inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Exhale, walk or hop to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Inhale, arm circle, sweep up, and exhale, hands to heart, ground down here, breathe in deeply, and let it go. Inhale, arm circle, sweep up, fingertips to the sky. Exhale, hinging from the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant, this time stepping just the right foot back, so we're in a runner's lunge on the left side. Right knee drops to the ground. Let's find some back and forth presses through that left leg. Once again here, as you extend that left leg, feel that deep hamstring stretch. And as you press the hips forward, find that right hip flexor stretch. We'll be here for a couple more breaths, so just taking this as fast or as slow as you please. Eventually returning back to your runner's lunge, go ahead and tuck the right toes under, lift the right knee up, finding that proper runner's lunge. But if you choose to keep that right knee on the ground, that's fine as well. Right fingertips come to your block, and with the inhale, you open up to your twist on the left side. So notice now that that right hip is going to want to twist with you, and I want you to keep it in line with the left hip this time. And really find that twist stemming from the rib cage area of the body. Breathe in deeply here, and exhale. Inhale. Exhale, coming back to center. Planting both hands on the ground and then sending left leg up and back, three-leg dog. Bend and extend the left leg. Open up your hip by dialing the heel towards the right side of the room. Try to maintain even weight distributed through your hands. Finally, squaring the hips, allowing that left foot to come back to meet right. Inhale here. And exhale. Inhale, bend knee dog. With the exhale, find that plank pose. Once again, we're going to hold here. And we're going to lift the right toes up off the ground and then place them back down. Left toes reach and down. Take this rotation for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to your full plank. Breathe it in. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or low cobra. And with this exhale, let's go ahead and sink back into a child's pose. Grab a drink of water if you need it. Our next location will be some balancing postures, and then we'll hit a couple warrior twos. So I am going to adjust my camera placement here so that you guys are able to see what I'm doing. All right. It is a little bit more cramped in my room, but we make it work, right? So in your child's pose, just take 2 more breaths in and out. Coming back into your downward facing dog by tucking the toes under and lifting those hips up and back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, right leg reaches up towards the sky. And with the exhale, pull right knee in towards the chest. Inhale, lengthen right leg back up to the sky. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Hold here. And step that right foot to meet right thumb for your runner's lunge. From here, we'll start to find our crescent lunge by reaching the chest up off of the thigh, pulling the arms up towards the sky. As we set up in our crescent lunge, make sure those feet are hip distance apart so you can really engage both legs and have the hips somewhere that's comfortable for you. Press firmly into that right heel, into the earth, and the back ball of the left foot. Make sure that pelvis isn't arching, and try to keep the hips stacked below shoulders. The progression of our next movement is going to be pushing off and into the right leg and pulling that left knee in towards the chest. This is your inhale. With the exhale, go ahead and visit your warrior three posture, sending that left leg behind you with flexed foot. And exhale, land in your crescent lunge, arms reach up. Exhale, dip. Inhale, pull that left knee back in towards the chest, arms reach up. With the exhale, find that warrior three. That left leg kicks back, arms can reach back. Land in your crescent lunge. Inhale, extend the limbs. Exhale, dip. Inhale, bring that left knee into the chest. Exhale, warrior three. Inhale, crescent lunge. And exhale, dip. We'll find three more. Inhale, left knee to chest. So it takes a couple repetitions before you really find your pattern and your rhythm. Warrior three. Find that crescent lunge. Arms reach up. Exhale, dip it down. Last two. Inhale, knee to chest. Exhale, warrior three. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, dip. This time, pull that left knee in towards the chest. Exhale, hold your warrior three. So we're holding this warrior three posture. Keep that left foot flexed. Maybe the arms reach back with the palms facing down. Try to keep that chest open. Breathe in. With the exhale, landing left toes to the back of your mat and opening up to your warrior two. So dialing that left heel down, opening up so that your hips are towards the side of the room. Take a moment to set up in your warrior two. So make sure those right toes face the front of your mat and the edge of the left foot is towards the back of your mat. Hold here in your warrior two for 2 deep breaths. Check in with those hips. Make sure they're below your shoulders. No sassing of the hips. We'll find a couple flows here. So inhale, flip right palm, reverse your warrior. Exhale, extend your warrior. Inhale to reverse. And exhale to extend. This time, as you reverse, hold your reverse warrior. Allow that lengthening to occur in the right side body. Make sure that bend is still in that right knee. Maybe you find a half bind by bringing left hand towards the back, lower back. Your exhale is to your side angle position or your bent knee triangle. So go ahead and bring that right wrist or forearm into right inner knee or thigh. And just breathe here as you rely on those abdominals, those side abs, those obliques to keep you lifted here. Try to keep that rotation of the right rib cage towards the front of your room. Breathe in and out. Coming back to your warrior two, we're going to go to our balancing half moon. So if you have a block or some sort of prop that symbolizes a prop, it can even be a chair that you're kind of using. I want you to tap that prop about 6 inches in front of right toes. So that's your anchor point. That's the location where you're going to start to bring your weight into your right leg and gently start to hinge forward, letting those right fingertips come onto your block. And they're just lightly pressing onto your block, so I'm not putting too much pressure there. It's just a little bit of an anchor. Flex that left flying foot to engage your leg. Left arm up to the sky. Open those hips up towards me or whatever screen you're using. From here, let's take some bending and extending through that left leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Return back to that balancing half moon. Hold. And your dismount is back into your warrior 2 posture. Go ahead and lengthen that right leg. Point the toes to face the side of your mat for a wide-legged stance. Opening up your arms into a T, pulling that chest open. Take a deep breath. Exhale, hinging from the hips, forward fold. We'll be here for a couple breaths, so just allow yourself to move in any way that feels good. Maybe you like to bend and extend in your legs, finding some little side lunges. Or maybe your body is just looking for a static hold for you to breathe here. Two more breaths. All right, coming to a halfway lift, walking your hands over towards the right foot, find your runner's lunge. Stepping right foot back to meet left in a plank pose, breathe in. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog for 3 breaths. Inhale, left leg reaches up towards the sky. Exhale, left knee to the chest. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, left knee towards right elbow. Last big sweep all the way back up. Exhale, left knee to right or left elbow. Hold here. And then drop that left foot towards left thumb for your runner's lunge. Using your connection to your muscular system to slowly pick yourself up to your crescent lunge. Arms reach up to the sky. Setting up in your crescent lunge, making sure the feet are in a proper position where you can feel nice and stable here. And we'll take those progressions through our standing knee, warrior 3, and crescent lunge. Let's go for it. Inhale, pull the right knee in towards the chest. Exhale, warrior 3. Inhale, crescent lunge, arms reach up. Exhale, dip. Inhale, right knee to chest. Exhale, warrior 3. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, dip. 5 more. In. Out. In. Out. Inhale, knee to chest. Exhale, warrior 3. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, dip. 2 more. In. Crescent lunge. Exhale, dip. Inhale, knee to chest. Exhale, warrior 3. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, dip. This time, pull that right knee in towards the chest. And with your exhale, warrior 3 and hold. Those fingertips can reach towards the back of your room. Flex that right flying foot. Keep a micro bend in that left knee. Open up your chest. Last breath. Exhale, crescent lunge. And now we enter our warrior 2 on the left side. So dialing right heel down and open it up. Take your time to arrive in your warrior 2 posture and moving as you please. Take a moment here. Maybe you need a drink. And then holding firm warm in your warrior two posture. Notice what your feet have to do to stay connected to the earth. Inhale, flip left palm, reverse your warrior. Exhale, side angle. 2 more like this. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, extend. Last one. This time, as you reverse your warrior, hold here. Make sure that you didn't lose that deep bend in the left knee. Go ahead and establish that knee over ankle. Keep that chest lifted up towards the sky, rib cage face towards your device. Opening up through the left side body, maybe that half bind with the right hand towards lower back. And finding your side angle posture, holding here. And what's really important in this posture is that that outer edge of the right foot is pressing for the back of the room, and those left toes and heels are pressing for the front of the room. Use those obliques to keep you lifted here. Left rib cage turns to face the side. And returning back to your warrior two. We're going to go for our balancing half moon. So if you have that prop on the other side, go ahead and plant it 6 inches in front of the left foot. From here, we're going to bring our attention into putting our weight forward, starting to kick off with that right foot. Bring our weight into left foot. And open your hips up towards the side. Flex that right flying leg to keep it nice and engaged. And those left fingertips are just barely using that block. Breathe here. Let's bend and extend the right leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold that half moon. And release back to your warrior two. Extend left leg, turn the toes to face inward, finding a wide-legged stance. Inhale, open up the arms and chest. And exhale, a delicious forward fold here. So I always see these forward folds as kind of like a little detour, like a little pit stop between those really intense balancing postures. So we need to make sure that we pace ourselves through our class so that we can really allow our body to feel each pose and understand the dynamics of it and how it works in your individual body. So my cues are only suggestions, and it's up to your judgment to decide what's going to work for you and what isn't. Walking the hands over towards the left foot, stepping left foot back to meet right, plank pose. Inhale here. Hold for the exhale. And I'm going to turn to face you guys so that you guys can see what we're going to do quick. So we're going to stay in our plank pose. I'm going to explain this really quick. We're going to bring our right hand to left shoulder and then left hand to right shoulder. We're going to take this alternation here. So go ahead and start this for 10, 9, try to keep those hips level, 8, 7, so those hips are going to want to start to rock, but try to keep them level here for 5, 4, firm up those thighs, 3, 2, and 1, plank pose, hold. Exhale, lower all the way to the ground, chest lands, arms come alongside of you, and just bend the knees and windshield wiper side to side. I'm gonna adjust my little camera here. This is a full-time gig doing these virtual classes, making sure all the cameras work. And I appreciate your feedback, letting me know how you guys are able to see this and if it's working for you, if the audio is clear. Thank you guys for being my little technicians. So keep windshield wipering those feet from side to side to unwind the connective tissue in your lower back. And then we'll find one back strengthener here. So I want to start by taking a quad stretch to kind of open up that side of the body. So bring that right forearm underneath the head as a pillow. Bend left knee. Grab onto foot or ankle. Try to lengthen that left knee towards the back of your mat. And provide yourself just enough kind of energy of kicking into the hand and hand pulling back. So we're not going for a really full deep stretch, or rather a half bow. But what we are looking for is just enough energy to open up through the left quad. Go ahead and release that leg. Take it to the other side. So left forearm comes underneath the head. Grabbing onto right foot or ankle and lengthening right knee towards the back of your mat. And again, the same rules apply here, providing yourself just enough activity to find that straight lengthening through the quad. Releasing both legs. And then we'll find our skydiver position. So open your arms into goalpost arms with the palms facing down. And go ahead and bend those legs to a 90-degree angle and flex the feet as if you're pushing the sky away from you. Your inhale is lifting the arms and legs up off of the ground. Exhale is a softening. Inhale to open up to your skydiver position. Exhale, soften. 5, inhale, reach. Exhale, soften. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to hold in our skydiver pose here, pulling those shoulder blades together, engaging through the glutes and quads. If you like, you might go for a full bow pose here, but know that if you're not in a hot yoga studio, this is a pretty intense posture. If you are going for your bow pose, grab onto foot or ankles, and then kick into the hands and hands pull back, lifting that chest up. Wow, this is reminding me it's been a while since I've done my bow pose, so stay with it. Inhale. And exhale, slowly soften all the way to the ground. Bend the knees and windshield wiper feet from left to right. Lengthening the legs back down the mat, bringing the hands alongside of you and pressing your way up into your table pose. Taking a couple movements through the spine that feel nice, maybe some arches and curls or side-to-side movements. And for me right now, child's pose is calling my name to get a little bit of a rounded spine after that intense arching of our bow pose. I think we've all noticed too how practicing at home is different than practicing at Mystic, and one of the biggest differences is the heat component. So we're so lucky at Mystic Fitness, we have that really nice, juicy, hot studio, and it provides our body with this warmth to kind of open up into deeper stretches. So you have to keep that in mind as you're doing yoga at home. If you don't have a hot, like a heater or anything, that your body is going to be a little bit tighter. So just something to point out. Let's go ahead and return back into our table pose. And we'll find our half pigeon here. So if you like that in a reclined position, you can go ahead and lay yourself down. If you'd like to find your prone half pigeon, you can follow me by tucking the toes under, lifting those hips up and back for your downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg reaches up towards the sky. And I like to just open my hip really quick here by letting my right heel drop over towards the left. Squaring the hips, right leg reaches up, and then right knee to right wrist. Slowly starting to sit yourself down here. So a couple of options here might be taking that block underneath the right glute for a little bit of support. Or you might simply open up that left knee out towards the left so that you're in a more seated position. Wherever you choose to be, now is your time for some big inhales and exhales to just relax into this posture. Personally, I like to open up my chest for a moment and get a deep stretch through my left hip flexor. And then I like to hinge forward, starting to bring my attention into that right hip flexor. A block or pillow underneath the head provides an opportunity to relax the shoulders and neck. And then you can just take some deep breaths here as you soften through the muscles of the body, releasing any tension in the connective tissue of the right hip. And this is kind of a funny analogy, but you know a whoopee cushion, when you blow up a whoopee cushion, it's really tight. That's like our inhale. Our body gets a little bit more engaged and tight. Then, as you push the air out of the whoopee cushion, it kind of turns really soft and flimsy. And that's what we're doing with our exhales, is we're releasing that tension in our body. Try that with me. Inhale. Exhale, just deflate. One more. Let's take this to the other side by slowly propping yourself back up, bringing your hands to the mat, tucking left toes under, and then reaching back into your downward facing dog. Taking any movements here. Eventually, inhale, left leg reaches up, and maybe you open up that hip once again here. Left leg up towards the sky, and then left knee towards left wrist for your pigeon pose on the other side. From here, once again, you might consider taking a block underneath that left hip, or opening up right knee out towards the right. Wherever you are, now is your chance to just kind of explore, figure out where the body needs to be comfortable. Make sure that that left thigh is parallel to the long edge of your mat. So you don't want the left knee kind of out towards the left. You want to keep that knee in line with the hip. Eventually softening your way into this posture, relaxing into it. Finding those inhales to kind of notice where the tension is. And exhales, deflate all of that tension in air. So if you're still watching, thank you guys for kind of putting up with some of the technical issues that we had at the beginning of class. I'm not quite sure why my Facebook Live doesn't want to work on my desktop, but it's working fine on my phone. So just thank you guys for, being human with me. Slowly start to prop your way up out of this posture. And either returning back to your downward facing dog by tucking right toes under, or just bringing that right leg in front of you and laying all the way onto your backs. Once you've arrived, take a nice full body stretch, stretching the limbs apart one another. And pulling the knees in towards the chest, giving yourself a squeeze. Maybe a gentle swaying from left to right. And then dropping the feet on the ground, lifting the hips up and dropping hips over towards the right as the knees drop over towards the left for your spinal twist. And from here, if you want to make this a little bit more intense, you might take that left ankle and stack it over right so that you're putting a little pressure on that right leg. And you might take your gaze over towards the right fingertips. Wherever you are, finding that same pattern of breath to relax your way into this pose. Breathe in and out. Coming all the way back to center, picking those hips up and dropping them over towards the left. Knees drop over towards the right. Perhaps you want to take that right ankle and stack it over left thigh to make this a little bit more intense. Wherever you choose to be, find those deep, soothing breaths. And really the most important part of our class are our inhales and exhales. Without those in-breaths and out-breaths, our movements would not be as beneficial for our bodies. Bringing the knees back to center, giving yourself a squeeze one more time. And then finding one last posture of your choice. So maybe a happy baby, grabbing onto the soles of the feet and kind of pulling the knees towards armpits. Maybe a reclined bound angle, bringing the soles of the feet together and letting the knees flop out. Or maybe a waterfall, lengthening the legs up towards the sky and letting all of that blood flow come back down into the heart. Wherever you are, find 3 breaths before entering your Shavasana, your final resting pose. And you'll know when your body is ready for your Shavasana. Take your time to arrive. And if you've been watching since the beginning of our class, this morning I pulled a tarot card. And we pulled Purity, which is 2 of Wands. I'd like to just read you a little bit of what that means. So once you've entered your Shavasana, take a deep breath in. And then just completely surrender everything back down. White candlelight is symbolic of purity. Like the untainted white snow of the impeccable white lotus. You are clean of character impurities. Purity means being authentic and natural. Be true to yourself without the contamination of outside conditioning. White light, the crystals, the window, and lotus represent purity of perception. See things as they really are, untampered by prejudicial preconceptions. Pure white energy means living without artificial stimulants, chemicals, and drugs. Pure, you are a window to others for seeing their path. Be a guiding light. For a moment, I'd like for all of you to picture a dark room, pitch black. And in this dark room, I want you to turn your attention into that light within your heart, that bright green light that resides within you. And rather than shielding it from the dark room, I want you to open up that chest, open up that light, and illuminate the darkness. Illuminate the path. Illuminate your true self and allow it to shine. Allow it to shine when times are dark. Bringing the hands over your heart, feeling the warmth of that light within you. And the beautiful part about this is that no one can take that away from you. No one can take this spot, this little oasis within you away. It is yours. And we'll seal our class in with the sound of Om, uniting our vibrations as one. Allowing ourselves to take a cleansing breath in and out. And for Om, in. The light that illuminates within my heart bows to the light illuminating within yours. Namaste. Thank you guys all so very much for staying tuned with our live flow. So like I said, this is my little yoga studio. This is my little oasis. And I'd love to see yours as well. So if you feel like you want to send Mystic Fitness a little picture of your little yoga oasis, go ahead and let us know. Thank you all for your love and feedback. And maybe this tarot card will inspire you for the rest of your day. So this is what it looks like. Purity. So it's a bright light. We got our window, lotus. It's a beautiful card. If you would like an individual tarot reading, you can please reach out to me and I would love to do a video call with you and do a private tarot reading or maybe just a private yoga class or private chat. All right. Thank you guys so much. And I will see you tomorrow at Mystic Fitness Yoga Studio for another live flow. If you guys are looking for any certain postures or areas of the body that you want to stretch or work out, go ahead and comment. Let us know. I'll see you guys there tomorrow. Take care.